Beloved child, gentle face, let me whisper in your ear. Beloved child, full of grace, let go of your fear. Beloved child, little angel, let me give you a kiss. Be at peace and be happy and follow your bliss. Your eyes wide with wonder, so pure and so kind, reflecting a sweetness that shines. Innocent smile as you swing to and fro. There's a secret that you need to know. Beloved child, gentle face, let me whisper in your ear. Beloved child, full of grace, let go of your fear. Beloved child, little angel, let me give you a kiss. Be at peace and be happy and follow your bliss. There may come a time when the going gets rough, times you think you're not enough. Maybe a time when you're lost and confused. This song will help you pull through. About you is you're perfect, just the way that you are. Like rubies and diamonds, so brilliant, you shine like a star.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. This is our Sunday service. We're here on Sunday morning, August the 13th, and we greet all of you who are meeting with us today by way of Facebook and YouTube. My name is Jo Lurquin, sometimes affectionately known as Lady Jo, and I'm a longtime member here at the center. And when Reverend Dr. Maxine and Reverend Mike go out of town, sometimes I get to be the MC. So that means I have a microphone and I have a clipboard. Be afraid, be very afraid. So you see, the first thing I want to mention to you is that this is a place where all are welcome. Here we connect with spirit through the principles of science of mind. Our mission, awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We teach and practice science of mind principles. The Centers for Spiritual Living theme for 2023 is building a new consciousness. The August theme is peace. We truly believe in a world that works for everyone, all sentient beings. We are grateful to you who are tuning in, watching on Facebook and YouTube. And we have a really special day for you today. So while Dr. Maxine and Reverend Mike are away, we are filling in. And it does take a lot of us to fill in. And so what we have today are five practitioners. These are licensed religious science practitioners, all connected here with us at the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. So each one of them is going to have a part of the service, and in addition, they're going to be speaking on our theme, peace, and they're going to be giving us their perspectives on peace. So, of course, we'll have music. There's always going to be music. And we'll continue on through the program. Oh, and speaking of the program, I can't get by without a program. And so I am really grateful this time. Not only was Reverend Dr. Maxine involved with the program, but also our Floridian practitioner, and that would be Bo Smith. So you probably remember him from way back in July when we first met him. That would be the service on July the 30th. But here we are in August, and we still get to enjoy having Bo with us. So we're very pleased with that. So when I say that we are here live, yeah, well, sort of. Yes, well, we're live right now, right here in this space in Teprod, the business office facility of Suzanne Smethers and her husband, Rick. And so by live, it's kind of like when you watch TV and you see live with so-and-so and so-and-so. Then at the bottom of your TV screen, it says, previously recorded. So that's what we're doing today. We're live, previously recorded. Okay. So for now, please say with me our purpose statement. Living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. And so we now have our opening song, Peace, Light, Love, performed by Denise Rossier.
Peace, light, love in me. Sing those words together, peace, light, and love.
Sweet words of wisdom fill my ears. Your words like water keep my soul sustained. Let them rain, let them rain. Peace, light, love in me. I hold your presence here inside of me. I rest in knowing you are here. Brighter than 1,000 stars across the sky. How you shine, how you shine. Peace, light, and love. Peace, light, love in me. Peace, light, love in me. Peace, light, love in me.
Okay, thank you so very much. That was beautiful. And now it's time for We Wisdom. And so that is when we speak to the little people and the really big people. And today we're fortunate that our practitioner from afar, that would be Bo Smith, is going to be presenting our We Wisdom. And as you may recall from our July 30th service, Bo came here from Florida by many means of transportation. There was an Uber, there was a bus, there was an overnight train, there was a private car. Yeah, he did it all. And now, at the close of this service, we're going to help Bo find his way back to Florida, because that's where he lives. So for right now, I'm going to turn it over to Bo and his message of We Wisdom.
Thank you, thank you. It's great to be with you all today, and it's wonderful to have this opportunity to speak to everyone, both small and large and everybody in between. So I wanted to take a few moments, if I may, to just talk about peace. And what a difficult concept that may be to talk about, because it just seems something that's a little in the air. Like, what do we do with that? And whether you're really small, still in elementary school, or you're larger and in high school, or if you're older and in college, or whatever age range you are, peace is an important concept. And we may find ourselves involved with people who disagree with us. Can you imagine that? People who disagree with us? I can't imagine. Everybody I know loves and cares about me. And everyone that I know, I love and care about as well. And yet sometimes disagreements happen, and sometimes we get our emotions a little roiled up. Well, when that happens, it's time to take a few steps back. It's time to sometimes be like, okay, maybe we have a disagreement. Maybe we're having an argument even. Maybe our emotions are getting a little too high and a little too roiled up for a good and peaceful conversation. So we have to take a few steps back. And when we're able to do that and create a little bit of space, both physically maybe sometimes, as well as emotionally inside, when we're able to do that, we can feel peace. And we can bring that peace into any interaction, into any relationship that we're having, including the ones where we're having arguments with. Because that does sometimes happen. But when it does, we have the power. We have the ability to say, I wish to be in peace. I wish to be in love. And when we do that, we create a powerful experience for ourselves and a powerful experience for the people that we are interacting with. So when you next find yourself in a disagreement or having some sort of issue with somebody, just take a step back inside and just breathe in and relax and breathe out again. And just know, I am peace. I am peace, and I can be peaceful in this moment. And when you're able to do that, no matter what's going on around here, it can change in a moment. As soon as you know the truth that you are peace, everything can change in that moment. And that is the power of thinking any way you choose. We have that ability. We have that power to say, no, not this, yes to this. No to arguments, yes to peace. And when we're able to do that, we can transform, we can change inside, and that translates into the outside as well. So I just wanted to take a few moments to invite you to think about, what does that mean to me? What does that mean to you? As we go through our day, going to school or interacting with our friends or with our adult people or whatever, just think peace. I am peace. And just breathe. So thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you. Thank you so much for inviting me to visit with some of you. And it's a great pleasure for me to be able to do that. Thank you. Joe.
Thank you so very much, Bo. That was beautiful. Lessons for all of us to bring peace into our world, whether we're a wee wisdom or a larger wisdom. And so next we're going to be moving into guided meditation. And this morning we're so very fortunate that this will be led by Practitioner Sarah Funk.
Thank you, Lady Jo. Let us go within and close your eyes if that's comfortable. And take a deep, holy breath. Moving into that place within that's never been harmed by anything. That place where peace resides. That divine, holy presence that is God is this place of peace. That light that shines within us. That light that never goes out. It is our place of peace. And we go there anytime we need that centering feeling of oneness that is God. So let us go into that spot right now. in silence for just a moment. And let us know this place of peace is always there. We cannot be separate from it. It is part of who we are. That sweet, sweet, juicy connection to spirit. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That was lovely. And now we're going to be having Cheryl Macklin, our next practitioner, who's going to share an opening spiritual mind treatment. And then Dr. Cheryl's going to be leading our affirmation.
Lady Joe, well, it is wonderful to be here and look out and see such shining faces. And we're all here to be peace, to talk about peace and grow in peace. So I'm going to state this in the first person, and I invite you to take it for yourself. There is one divine source, one creator. And this creator is infinite love, infinite intelligence, and divine peace. And I know that each and every one here is a creation, a beloved creation of the one source, of God. And as I look out on this, the audience, the members of this beloved community, I see the love and the peace radiating. And I am grateful to feel the community, the nurturing, and the celebration that we come together, how grateful we are to be able to come together. So I know today we are sharing peace because we are each that peace, which is God. And I know that these talks are guided and blessed, and I'm looking forward to hearing all of it. And I know that it's the right and perfect music, and everything flows peacefully, joyously, and lovingly. So with great gratitude, I release my word into the law, knowing that the law only ever says yes. In grateful peace, I let it be so, and so it is. And now I invite you to join me with the affirmation, and by a miracle of technology, it is right here with us. I welcome the blessing of divine peace. I see with the eyes of God. I joyously share this peace with everyone I encounter, and I know that the truth of the world is peace. Good job.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Next, we have something that we don't get to have each Sunday, but when it's appropriate, we are able to have a demonstration of how the science of mind principles work. And we are, again, welcoming practitioner Bo Smith to handle this for us. Bo?
Joe, appreciate you. Well, the demonstration I wanted to share today was of my being able to be here. Quite honestly, quite a demonstration in my life. Dr. Maxine and I had been talking about maybe my coming up here and joining a Sunday service and getting to meet everybody face to face. And this was many, many months ago. And I sort of put it in the back of my head and I'm like, yeah, that would be nice. And sometimes my finances are quite sufficient to carry the costs of each month. Let's put it that way. If something else came up, maybe. That might be a question as to whether I could afford that. And so as the time kept getting nearer and we actually scheduled a date for me to be here so that I could participate in the Sunday services, I noticed my finances were a little lacking and I started getting a little worried. So a few weeks before I was supposed to be here, Dr. Maxine gives me a call and says, well, let's talk about our itinerary. And I'm like, well, maybe I might not be able to be there after all. I might have to videotape my responses, my participation in. And she's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. So she's like, let's know the truth. All is provided for. A way is opening up as we speak. I will treat for you tonight, and you will treat for you tonight, and we will see you in Pennsylvania. I'm like, okay. And I still had my lingering doubts, but she's a force for nature when you speak to her. We all know this. And I love her dearly. And of course, anytime she, no, I'm like, I pay attention. So that night I treated, and I felt relief, I felt peace and whatnot. I'm like, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but I know it's going to work. And I went to sleep. And literally the next day, 2 avenues both came into being that provided me enough funds and enough opportunity to come up here. Totally out of the blue, totally unexpected, no way that was happening from a previous point of view until Maxine said, no, we are establishing the truth. This is the truth. You are up here in our presence this day. And I believed it, and she knew it, and so it is, and here I am. And so that really is the power of spiritual mind treatment. That is the power of putting your foot down and saying no to what's going on maybe outside in the moment, and reestablishing and saying yes to what I want. And what I know is the truth is that always happens when you know it with passion and love and certainty. So I'm grateful to be here, and so it is. Thank you.
Wow. That is so exciting. And it's even more exciting to know that that is available to each of us. Now, we're going to be having the practitioners speak to us individually on perspectives of peace. But before we do that, I thought there may be some of us out there in YouTube or Facebook land that might not exactly know what is a practitioner. What does a practitioner do? So I'm going to fill you in on that. My source for this information is a really nifty little booklet. This is visual aid. This is a booklet that was put together by the practitioners, the Center for Spiritual Living. It's called Practitioner Information. Okay, so if you're here visiting with us in person, you can pick one of these up. But for now, I've just done a shortened version of this. So, Science of Mind practitioners are trained extensively in the use of science of mind principles and spiritual mind treatment. Licensed practitioners must pass written and oral exams and maintain yearly continuing educational credits. They are licensed by the Centers for Spiritual Living to serve professionally in assisting people to heal conditions and live fuller, more abundant lives. They see clients privately for prayer treatment and applying the science of mind teaching in their lives. Each session is held in sacred confidence. Practitioners also support the work of the ministry through teaching classes and workshops and providing free prayer support after our Sunday celebrations to those in attendance. A practitioner provides a supportive atmosphere to assist us in exploring our own power and potential. Through the practice of spiritual mind treatment, one can work with a practitioner together to open avenues of healing and greater life expression. And we just had a wonderful demonstration of that as brought to us by Bo. So now that's a lot. So from here, I'm happy to present our first practitioner with a talk on the perspectives of peace. And quite honestly, this is my favorite practitioner. Well, okay. So I'm married to him. So I'm very happy to present my husband, practitioner Joseph Lurkwin.
Thank you very much, Lady Jo. It's a privilege to be here, and I'm very happy to be with this center right here and right now. And I thank you for in this wonderful description of the CSL practitioner and how we can support everyone. Good morning. I am Joe Lurkwin, and I am a licensed practitioner with the Greater Philadelphia Centers for Spiritual Living. Today's talk is about peace, and my talk title is Achieving Peace Within. I first looked up the definition of peace in the dictionary. It's not a heartwarming thing to see. It basically started with the noun, a state of tranquility or quiet, which sounded pretty good. And then they added the parts after it. A state of security or order within a community provided by law or customs, keeping the peace. Not what you'd think as peaceful internally. Then their second definition part was freedom from civil disobedience. Again, not the best in the world. So I started looking now, what am I going to do? Certainly it's not what I was thinking of when contemplating peace. So I investigated historically description of peace and found the following. Greek proverb. It's a word I get all mixed up. A minute of patience, 10 years of peace. Hebrew meaning for peace, shalom, gives you assurance that all is right in your soul, even when you can't resolve all the issues or predict the outcome. Symbols and traditions of peace through the ages, which I found very interesting in looking at this. Of course, we know doves, peace pipe, peace lily, olive branch, the color blue, which indicates peace and tranquility, peace lavender, the lotus flower, wreaths of bay leaves. So then I started looking into some of the sayings and some of the proverbs and things, and I found John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my own peace I give you. Not as the world gives, I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, and do not be afraid. Mother Teresa, if I have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Maya Angelou, quote, it is what we have hungered for, not just the absence of war, but true peace. A harmony of spirit, a comfort of courtesy. So then I started looking at what do we believe in CSL? What is our thinking in this area? And I looked at the studies that we did and reviewed the spirits of true identity, the qualities of spirit, the I am. And the first of which is life. That which is all around me and within me. Light. The spark of the one growing brighter each day in each one of us. Love. The love that is all around me. Beauty. Wonders of the universe always around me. Power. Knowing that I can make and be a difference in this world. And peace. The peace I have within me to achieve wondrous things. And I thought about those and looked at them, and I realized that for peace to be achieved, it begins within me and each one of us working together. Behind any unpleasant condition, I see the divine light shining through the condition and the beings that are involved. Listening deeply to my peaceful inner voice allows me to feel free. I am peace. I feel peace. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And so it is. Now I would like to introduce fellow practitioner Georgiana Gord.
Thank you, Joe. It's so amazing how the divine orchestration works, because Joe was talking about achieving peace within, all right? And my time with you today is talking about peace within peace. So it was a number of months ago, as we tried to give you some history to get us to this point, we were at a practitioner meeting, and Dr. Maxine, in her absolute standing in the moment, what is your title? And I'm going, what is my title? And then all of a sudden, everybody was talking about peace. I said, peace within peace. That was great. It sounded wonderful. I got off of our Zoom call. I'm going, oh, now I have to put my money where my mouth is. What am I going to do? So I thought about, what does peace mean to me? And what's the spiritual aspect of peace? And then what's the practical aspect of peace? Does it mean a closer sense of inner peace? I asked myself that question. Does it mean singing the Eagles band, that peaceful, easy feeling? Does it mean singing that all the time? Does it mean having a deeper sense of peace of mind? Or is it really stepping out of emotional and mental? And is it really peace in my body? So peace in my mind and in my body. So I kept on asking myself that question. And then I started looking at peace as an acronym, P-E-A-C-E. So Joe, you talked about, you looked at some definitions. I did also. And I thought, what would Ernest Holmes say to this acronym called P-E-A-C-E? So I went to a really powerful section of our Science of Mind textbook, all right, and I looked up his definition of peace. So I'm just giving you the acronym of peace and just seeing how it really unfolded with me, and it's really such a deeper understanding of achieving the peace within, as Joe's saying, and then the peace within peace. So I had this nice conversation with the definitions with Ernest Holmes, right? And I came up with the P for presence, all right? So Ernest Holmes says on page 621 that peace is the presence, is God. And to meditate upon the presence of God is to indraw the universe into one's own soul. So I got fascinated by the word indraw, and I thought about all the times that I meditate, how many times I withdraw. So I think I'm meditating, right? And Bo, you talked about breathe in and breathe out for the wee wisdom. Even when I breathe in and breathe out, I have this thing called this monkey mind, if anybody ever, encountered that, right? And it jumped all over, and I thought, wow, what a wonderful thing to think of the presence and indraw the presence within me for that. So that's P is presence. And then there was E for energy. So Ernest Holmes says that energy is a divine and unfailing attribute, and consequently, there is never any lack of it. Page 588. So then I looked over, do I throw out all my vitamins? Because I can just keep on going peace within peace, all right? And then to realize is that, like, my cup does runneth over. If I just allow myself to be in the energy, the divine and unfailing attribute, okay? So we have presence, we have energy. And then we have A for the absolute, right? And Bo, you gave a wonderful metaphor or look or understanding that when Dr. Maxine says something, it is absolute, right? And Ernest Holmes says that absolute is often used as a synonym for God. He says truth is absolute and remains unaffected by opinions, desires, and beliefs of men. And I'm adding women since it's 2023. This was page 575. So I think of myself, how much more peaceful I could be within if I let go of opinions of myself, and if I let go of the shoulda, woulda, couldas. And Jerry, my husband, is probably smiling right now as he's hearing me say the shoulda, woulda, couldas, which is not for me, of course. It's for him, all right? And, and just to realize how God really transcends everything, right? And it reminds me of the acronym QTIP, right? Q-T-I-P, quit taking it personally, right? So because the absolute truth is what I want to take very personally. So we have presence, we have energy, we have absolute, and we have C, which is the conscious mind. And Ernest Holmes said that consciousness as the self-knowing mind in God or in man. And I think of myself as the conscious mind is M with a capital M, and to be aware when I look at M with a small m, right? It's always the conscious mind with a capital M for me, all right? Presence, energy, absolute, conscious mind, and E. So E is the ribbon on top of this wonderful package of peace, and it's enlightenment. All right, and this is what I thought it just happened, enlightenment. And Sarah, I want to take your word, juicy, that you brought in. And isn't it juicy to know that we can have presence, we can have energy, we can have the absolute, we can have conscious mind, and we have the enlightenment. And the peace within peace is always enlightened in all of us, and it's very naturally to emerge. So today, this is my journey about peace within peace, and my hope for you is that when you listen to this, that you just gain a sense of peace, maybe more of an expanded awareness, that it's multifaceted. It's spiritual, it's practical, it's a concept, and this peace within peace is a magnificent gift that we can give ourselves, and acknowledge that the peace within, that's the ticket. So with this in mind, I'm going to share this microphone with Cheryl, as she's going to talk about peace and faith. Cheryl?
Well, I went a slightly different direction. I was so excited when Dr. Maxine said our topic was peace, because I knew instantly what I was going to talk about. We say in this teaching, treat and move your feet. Well, I'm going to tell you a story about someone who really moved her feet. I read a book many years ago, before I even knew Science of Mind existed, and the book was called Peace Pilgrim. And this is a very enlarged copy of what I read back then. And you may or may not know about Peace Pilgrim, but you will know before we leave. Peace Pilgrim was an American spiritual teacher, pacifist, mystic, vegetarian activist, and peace activist. She said, when enough of us find inner peace, our institutions will become more peaceful, and there will be no more occasions for war. Peace Pilgrim was born in 1908 and lived on a farm in New Jersey. She adopted the name Peace Pilgrim January 1st, 1953. And from that point on, if anyone asked her what her name was, she said, "My name is Peace." She would not tell people her real name. Now, of course, some reporters figured it out and all of that, but she never, ever used it again. She didn't go to church when she was young. Her first visit to a church occurred when she was 16, and she went to a wedding. But as time went on, her feeling of the presence of God within her and her faith of God deepened. Her intention became to live in alignment with the purpose that God's purpose for her and God's will. She knew absolutely that she was protected and safe. She felt if she could talk to people about her connection to God and the feeling of peace, that one by one, the world would become more peaceful. And she didn't just decide, okay, I'm going to do this. It took her about 15 years to prepare to actually be ready to take her mission on. She did what she calls 15 steps of preparation, and these included simplifying her life, which basically meant getting rid of most everything she owned, purifying her body, her thoughts, and her motives, relinquishing her self-will, her attachments, and her negative feelings. She even walked the entire Appalachian Trail in one season. I don't think there are very many people, if any, that have done that. She said, really, when I went back and read it, I didn't realize how much in alignment it was with Science of Mind, because the first time I read it, I didn't know Science of Mind existed. So she says, I am one who is propelled by the power of faith. I bathe in the light of eternal wisdom. I am sustained by the unending energy of the universe. This is who I really am. Oops. And so she set the intention to walk 25,000 miles across the United States. In the beginning, she would only eat if it was offered. She would never ask for food. She would only sleep if shelter was offered. Otherwise, she would be on the side of the road, in the woods, in someone's car, wherever. That kind of loosened up as she went along because she got to be a little more well-known, and more people were inviting her places. And when she hit 25,000 miles, which I can't even imagine, she said, I'm not going to count anymore. When I count the miles, I have to be on a highway, something that's marked with miles. If I forget counting, then I can go in the woods. I can be more with nature. And so that is what she did. And she continued to walk a total of 28 years. She said, looking through the eyes of the divine nature, you see the essence in the manifestation, the creator within the created, and it is a wonderful world. She actually walked all 50 states, all 10 provinces in Canada, and some parts of Mexico. She went to Alaska and Hawaii. She was offered rides, of course, flights, and then she later took several groups to Hawaii to demonstrate, and they all together lived in the way that she had been living. This is actually the piece that maybe amazes me, second to the fact that she walked for 28 years. Here's what she wore. She wore long slacks, a long sleeve shirt, and a tunic, navy blue tunic. And on the tunic it said, Peace Pilgrim on the front, and walking 25,000 miles for peace on the back. And the tunic had pockets, and in the pockets she had a folding toothbrush, a comb, a map, and a pen to answer the letters that she carried with her, and pieces of literature that kind of explained her philosophy. She had a friend in New Jersey who would collect her mail, so people who wanted to write to her sent it to a post office box in New Jersey, and then this friend would forward it, and she answered every piece of mail that she ever got. She also carried a short sleeve shirt and shorts in case she wanted to take a dip in a lake that she happened to pass. But I can't imagine that is all she carried and all she owned for those 28 years. What she did was speak wherever she went. She talked to people about peace and the importance of peace and what peace meant to her. And as the years went on, there were more newspaper articles and more information that got out about her. So she had more invitations. She talked to high school classes. She talked to college classes like psychology and philosophy. She talked in churches. She was on the radio. She was on the television. So her message really branched out. Interestingly enough, there is a Swarthmore College Peace Library, and that is where all of her collection of letters and the letters that people wrote to her and the things that she wrote about her mission, so it's all in a collection there. And then there is a Peace Pilgrim Park in East Harbor, New Jersey. East Harbor City, New Jersey. Sadly, her mission ended when she was killed in a car accident when she was 73. It was in Colorado, and she wasn't the one driving. I'm going to leave you with two quotes, but let me say before that, the reason that this struck me when I read it is just that so became my intention and my goal, to have that much faith in God within that I would follow a mission. Now, I'm not walking 25,000 miles. I'm real clear that that's not my mission, but just to be that deep in the presence of God and in the belief of the possibility of peace in the world, and that she was completely safe and protected. I'll tell you another side story real quickly. She asked a gentleman who was parked beside the road if she could sleep in the back of his car, and he said yes. And in the morning when she woke up, he said, you know, like in the middle of the night, I had some maybe not so great ideas about you, but I just couldn't act on them. So she clearly was protected, and that happened more than once. So she says, to know God is to reflect toward all people, reflect love toward all people and creatures. To know God is to feel peace within, a calmness, a serenity, an unshakableness which enables you to face any situation. And one of my favorite quotes, who could know God and not be joyous? So, that is one incredible woman. And now I'm going to turn the microphone over to one incredible gentleman.
Thank you, Cheryl. That's an incredible story. I appreciate you sharing it. I went along similarly to what Joe and Georgie did and looked up definitions, because what's a good student to do? And instead of actual definitions from a dictionary, I too went and looked up Ernest Holmes, because what better way to go to the source but to the source? And there were several definitions, but he has a lot of good stories. And just as Cheryl was sharing about Peace Pilgrim, which is an incredible story, I've heard of her, didn't know all the details that you shared. But it's wonderful to dedicate ourselves to a mission, to an understanding of what we have to do in the world as our mission. And again, I agree with you. My mission is not 25,000 steps or 8 years or whatever it is. God bless her. But what is mine to do in this moment? What is mine to do in the world? And so one of the quotes that I read from Ernest Holmes is on page 185 of the Science of Mind textbook. He writes, to daily meditate on the perfect life and to daily embody the great ideal is a royal road to freedom, to that peace which passes understanding and is happiness to the soul of all. And to me, it really speaks of the truth, capital T truth. What is peace? It's not just a feeling, it's a way of being. It's an attitude. It's an approach to life. And how can I embody that peace? Well, as Ernest says, to daily meditate on the good life, on the perfect life. And what does that mean to us? Well, it means whatever we choose. And we have that power to choose. Another quote from Dr. Ernest Holmes on page 264 of the textbook, he writes, we cannot be in peace until we know that the Spirit is the only cause, medium, and effect in our lives. There is no past, present, or future to it. Evil has no history and has never entered into the being or the experience of reality. The mind must come to know and to realize all these truths if it is to have a real and lasting peace. So again, daily meditation. What is peace to me? Allow that to really percolate, just like our morning coffee. Allow that to steep, just like our morning tea. Let it sink in deeply. What is peace to me, and how can I be peace in the world? The final quote I wanted to share, again early on in the Science of Mind text, since it's quite a big book, page 285. It's a little bit longer quote. He writes, "Faith in God is such a complete conviction that the Spirit will make the gift, that there is no longer any subjective contradiction. This faith can exist only in such degree as the conviction of it is in line with reality, capital R reality. As we come into the spiritual realm, which is a natural realm, we have to come into it in its own nature. It is a unity. Remember, as the Bible has Jesus say, therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there you remember that your brother is not at ease with you, or you with him, leave your gift and go your way to be reconciled with him, and then come and offer your gift." The moral of that particular story is that we cannot enter into peace when we are in a state of confusion or in conflict, because peace is a unity. Peace is one. Peace is one as God, as is our life. And so if we are feeling confused, or if we are in some sort of conflict within ourselves or with other people, it's no good to just think, oh, I'll just pray, or oh, I'll just meditate. We must sit, and we must deeply go within and know the truth. Peace is me. I am peace. And there is no other way. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be with you today, and I've loved all the talks so far, and now I get the joy of turning the microphone to my beloved colleague, Sarah Funk. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, Georgiana, Cheryl, and Bo, for our wonderful talks on peace. Well, I chose the title Sacred Peace. And I did what Georgiana did. I sort of broke the word up. To me, sacred is, S is spirit, A is the Almighty, C is consciousness, R is righteousness, E is the eternal, and D is the divine. So when I broke that up, I thought, wow, that is really what is true for me, and I think true for all of us. Because to me, sacred peace is that within me, that light, that flame of divine energy called life, which can never be distinguished. This is where my peace resides. I breathe deeply and allow myself to just be. That phrase, be still and know that I am. I already possess peace because God created me and gave me all I need. I, in turn, have to access or awaken this peace within to be expressed in all that I do. It is important to note that I do not have to go looking for peace. It is within me now. I experience it at the center of my being. I speak peace in all I do. In times of discord, I allow no doubt to arise in my thoughts. From Ernest Holmes' book, Your Spiritual Power, is this quote: "Above the wind and higher than the whirlwind, enshrined in the heart of God, there is a voice within you which says, 'Peace, be not afraid, it is I.' This I is you. This you is God within you. This God within you is peace."
Thank you, Cheryl. That was wonderful, and thank you all the practitioners. It's been a wonderful segment and selection of talks that bring us peace in our mind. And now is the opportunity to share our abundance with this center. Ways of contributing are on the screen or by contacting at cslphilly.org. Now please recite with me the prosperity celebration. I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Talking about that peace. That's right. Set your spirit free, y'all.
If we wanna make a change, be the change we seek. If we get this thing called love, turn the other cheek, spin the world right upside down. Maybe then we'll see another way to be. If we're gonna have this dream, wait to make it real. If I'm marching for some peace, start at home with me. If we soothe the war inside to bring some harmony, with a point where it begins. Shanti Amani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah. Set your spirit free, y'all.
Shanti Amani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah.
People say it's Judgment Day, time for us to choose. We can win together now, but separately we'll lose. Given to the doubt and fear, we'll show that heaven's here. With every word we say, with every move we make, with every breath we take. Shanti Amani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah. Set your spirit free, y'all.
Shanti Amani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah.
What the bleep, hey, got it right. With water and with life, what we get is what we think. So bask your mind with light. Focus on a super you. It suits the world of two. Join our peace, love, and fun, till the work of peace is done. 'Cause baby, we are one. Shanti Amani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah. Set your spirit free, y'all.
Shanti Amani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah. Set your spirit free, y'all.
Shanti Amani, Pache Shalom.
Talking about that peace. That's right. Yeah. Set
So, thank you all so very much for all those wonderful talks. We also are grateful for our offertory music. And now, coming up next, we're going to have CSL board member and audiovisual wizard, Mr. Jeffrey Messino, give us our announcements.
Good morning and welcome to the GPCSL Afternoon News. My name is Jeffrey Messino, and I serve as the Secretary and a member of your Board of Trustees. What a wonderful, wonderful practitioner talk today. It really takes a village for all of us to put together a Sunday celebration without Dr. Maxine. All right, on to the announcements. Reverend Mike will be starting a new 13-week Zoom class on how to use the science of mind, beginning Saturday mornings, August 26th from 9:45 to 11 a.m. Also, he will begin to teach a 5-week evening accredited class entitled Mental Equivalence, starting Thursday, September 28th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, please join Dr. Maxine K's Meditation and Serendipity workshops for 6 Tuesdays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Zoom, starting September 26th to October 30th, 2023. And now for our next upcoming in-person events, we have an afternoon matinee in Malvern on Saturday, August 26th from 3 to 5:30 p.m. featuring the inspiring movie, I Can Only Imagine. Next, our full moon ceremony will be held on Wednesday, August 30th from 7 to 8 p.m. at the Inspiration Cafe, rain or shine. Then on Sunday, August 22nd, 7th, we invite you for an after-church bring your own lunch fun event at the Black Rock Sanctuary in Phoenixville. Please also join us for the next Nibbles and New Thought night, Monday, September 4th at 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Brick and Brew in Malvern. To see all the details and to register to any of these events, please just go to our website, www.cslphilly.org. And a final reminder, our next 2 in-person Sunday celebrations will be held Sunday, August 20th and Sunday, August 27th in Eagleville, PA. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, please treat and move your feet. Back to you, Lady Joe.
Why, thank you, Jeff. There's so many exciting things coming up in the month of August, and we're going to love them all. So we are going to now have a closing song, I Can See Peace by Karen Drucker.
All right, we're gonna sing for you now. We're gonna do some church. Yeah, yeah. I'll teach this to you. I could see peace instead of this. 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 You can even say, I could see health, whatever you want to say. Sing with me. I could see peace instead of this. Sing that with me, yeah, yeah. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. And I could see peace instead of this. When I feel lost and I don't know where to go, It's always up to me, 'cause what I focus on will grow. I could choose love, or I could choose fear. But if I want to be happy, the answer's so clear that I could see peace instead of this. Yeah, yeah. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. And I could see peace instead of this. When I'm troubled, I'm feeling so alone. Love is always with me, and grace will bring me home. And I know love is the healer, and love is all I see each and every day. Love is who I want to be. So I could see love, instead of this. I could see love instead of all the craziness that's going on right now. I could see it. I could see love instead of this now. And I could see love instead of this. Sing with me now. I could see peace. Let's claim it now. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. And I could see peace instead of this. Yeah, now I could see peace instead of this. I could see love instead of this. I could see peace. Right now, I'm going to choose that every minute, every day. Oh, instead of this. Every day, I'm going to choose love, peace, joy, clarity, present. I can have it, I see it, I want it, I know it, I've got to claim it right now. I can have it, do you want it? You can have it. Oh, I can see it right now, yeah. I can have it right now, yeah. Claiming peace right now, just peace right now. Say peace right now. Just peace right now, say peace right now. I have peace right now, say it, peace right now, peace right now, peace, 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 peace.
Now, as I'm surrounded by all of our practitioners, this wonderful day, this wonderful place, I am so very grateful for all of the participation and all that could attend today. Thank you very much for joining us. Be safe and go in peace, and so it is.